and the STC. Ragnarok currently leads this best of 7 series with a score of 3-0. The map choice for the STC is going to be, well, I'll show you guys. It's going to be Ackland Wastes. Alright, let's go ahead and introduce who we have playing in this match. It is going to be our Terran player, currently down 3 games, but I still believe in this guy. He can make comebacks happen. He has a lot of experience at MLGs. He's played in numerous GSL qualifiers and was in HotS for quite some time. It is our blue Terran player, Complexity the STC. And of course, his opponent in the upper left side of the map, Ackland Wastes, currently up 3-0 in this best of 7 series. Can he take this last win? It is our red Zerg player, new to the team LGIM. It is Ragnarok. Alright, STC. What do I see? Is this a barracks proxied on the map? Well, I should be a rapper. I should really be a rapper. I kind of like that. But he is going for a proxy racks. Okay, so STC wants to take a free win. Oh my god. Oh my god, Ragnarok. Oh my god. Okay, so Ragnarok's not going to scout this barracks. Oh, that's so hard for him, but that's so good for the STC. He was so close to scout. Okay, literally, guys, his drone was right there. Right there. He even had the watchtower, but the barracks is just outside of range. So Ragnarok's going to come in the main base. He's going to know it's a proxy. He's going to see that, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 SCVs in the main base. He has a gas. Where's the barracks? Where's the command center? You don't have enough SCVs to be going for command center first. And you have gas. You're probably proxying me. And in fact, STC's barracks is already completed. Seeing one Reaper in the production tab. Now, what is the build order that Ragnarok went for in this game? He actually went for, very similar to the other games, 15 hatch with a spawning pool. So this build is the standard of ZVT. It's the bread and butter. But these Reapers are now going to be at the natural, and the spawning pool is not done. STC is just going to non-stop make Reapers. Already up to 1. We're going to see the SCV make its way towards the natural. He's going to plant down a bunker, and it looks like Ragnarok does not have any lings at all yet. The spawning pool is now going to finish. He needs to make some lings. 4 lings immediately in the production tab. Spine crawler immediately getting thrown down as well. But STC actually getting quite a good amount of drones. 2 drones so far. Now up to soon to be 2 Reapers. Bunker at the natural is going to finish, but this Reaper doing quite a bit of damage. He's going to be up to 4 kills, man. And these lings now are going to be able to clean it up. But STC trying to take the free, quick win and try to come back in this best of 7 series. Really good control. Now it's going to be up to 2 Reapers. 3rd Reaper in the production tab. Has the bunker completed? Yes, it has. But now we're going to see these lings continuing to do some damage against these Reapers. Ragnarok making 2 more. How many does he have right now? He has 5, now down to 4. So STC and Ragnarok are actually both controlling this really nicely. But the problem is this bunker. The bunker is finished. A 2nd bunker coming down. This hatchery is so close to dying for Ragnarok. His queen's going to finish. Spine crawler going to start to make its way all the way from the main to drop into the natural expansion. Bunker's going to get salvaged. Is it going to be in time, though? Ragnarok's so ballsy, just sending that spine crawler all the way down to the natural. And I think Ragnarok might have done it. More links coming up. 15 hatch, still defending a great push with these Reapers by the STC. And we're going to see another 2nd spine crawler. Actually, it's the same spine crawler. Just going to move forward a little bit. Ragnarok looks like he's defended. But still, I mean, STC is going to have map control. Take note, guys. There's a lot of links on the map, but he does not have speed. He doesn't have any roaches. He has not taken any gas yet. So STC can still, be on the map with these Reapers, possibly kill a few links, possibly kill a few drones, and just to keep Ragnarok on his toes. Still seeing pretty good control here by the STC. Killing more drones. Overall, he killed 4 drones. Overall, 21 units lost. And Ragnarok's had enough of these Reapers. He wants to surround them. Looks like 1 Reaper's going to go down. 2 Reapers going to go down. 3rd one. 4th one's going to survive. But pretty good damage by the STC. But again, still very good defense by Ragnarok. Back home, we are seeing a command center follow-up. He did go for the factory before the command center. Getting a starport. Is he going to make an armory? That's going to be the question here. This can be a very good transition for the STC if he goes into some sort of a Hellbat drop once his starport actually completes. If we compare harvesters, 25 drones to 22 SCVs. More drones in the production tab right now for Ragnarok. A little bit supply blocked. Going to make 2 overlords to go ahead and get that fixed. But STC is not out of this game at all. And he is going to be possibly banking on this Hellion drop. But STC, man, or excuse me, Ragnarok is on top of it. He sends in the overlord. He's going to see the starport, sees the command center. So he knows his opponent's expanding. But even if you see the starport, you don't know if it's going to be Hellbats or Hellions, or it's not going to be Marines, obviously, because he doesn't have any barracks currently producing Marines. But looks like it's just gonna be Hellions. You know, of course, unless STC wants to wait and get the armory on the map to get that Hellbat ability. But Ragnarok now just making more links, getting a spore. Is it in the main base? Where's the spore? Okay, so getting a spore there. So he knows that there's a possibility of a medevac drop because he scouted it. These Hellions out the natural expansion. Ragnarok is gonna be able to is he gonna be able to clean these Hellions? 3 of them are gonna survive, but now the STC making a Viking. I love this choice still. Kind of playing a little bit of mind games. He's not gonna make a medevac, so Ragnarok's gonna have to produce these units. That might not really be too helpful because these Vikings are gonna be able to clean up these overlords. So it's not gonna be a medevac time or a medevac drop anytime soon, at least. Now we're going to see Ragnarok up to 59 supply to 41. STC will be able to secure that natural expansion. Speed on its way for Ragnarok. Excuse me, he actually managed to get a medevac drop. Wow. How did I miss this medevac drop? So STC actually tried to go for a Hellion drop, but Ragnarok scouted it. I don't think he lost too many units. 9 overall drones lost in that engagement. Now we're going to see a Baneling Nest transition here for Ragnarok. So he's looking like he's just going to be still very Baneling heavy, what he's been doing every single time in this game. But this might work out a little bit more in his favor because STC's expansion is delayed. Take note, he went for a very cheesy opening. It didn't work. So his tech's going to be delayed. His expansion's going to be delayed. And the supply count kind of tells the tale. 64 to 49. Medevac drop, or actually it's a Viking. Just continuing to clear out some of these overlords. Currently up to 1 kill. So close to getting 2 kills. There you go. So STC going to take 2 of these overlords of Ragnarok. And there's a layer. So, and the evolution chambers. Okay, so I'm really tempted to say that Ragnarok's just going to go Mutiling Baneling and, go for a 3-base push and try to just go straight up kill the STC. And it actually might work very, very nicely. The STC adding a bunch of barracks back home, going up to Stim, getting +1 weapons. He's also getting a tech lab onto this factory, so probably going to be seeing Marine tank out of the STC. 42 SCVs to 51 drones. Okay, so he's kind of been evening up, or getting very, very close in terms of evening up the economy with Ragnarok. Alright, Ragnarok's taken a 3rd expansion. Creep spread continuing to be very, very focused on for Ragnarok, trying to get that towards his opponent's side of the map. +1 melee attacks as well as his Carapace. Soon to finish for Ragnarok. Baneling speed as well. There is the Spire right in the face of the STC. This is like the easiest Spire to scout, man. I mean, STC probably going to scout or scan or send something. Spire is just there. So Ragnarok at this point is just like, here, look at my Spire, bro. But, I mean, the STC is going to have to react with a few turrets. He does have 2 engineering base, so if he sees these Mutalisks, he's going to be able to make, a few turrets to deal with it. And he's going bio, and his Stim is finished very soon. So, his army is definitely going to be good against Mutalisks. It's all going to come down to the positioning and the control of the STC. Ling's just going to scout a little bit. We'll be able to see the 3rd expansion. Ragnarok delaying that expansion a little bit. So the STC is going to be on 3 bases here. More siege tanks in the production tab. More Marines getting combat shield as well. Does he have any? Does his 1-1? Okay, yeah. His 1-1's completed. So now the STC is going to start to move a little bit towards the center of the map. I'm not too sure I agree with this. There's a lot of Lings already on the map right now for Ragnarok. 30 Lings. 16 more Lings in the production tab. Baneling speed soon to finish. 8 Banelings in the production tab. So I don't think STC is actually going to commit with this. He's just going to have a little bit of map control, scan, get rid of some of these creep tumors, and then just dodge back home. So really good choice there by the STC. A little bit of a pause. We'll see. I guess the STC experiencing a little bit of lag. There's been actually quite a bit of lag on the servers, I'll admit. I've been reading a lot of people's tweets, and people are saying okay, I'm gonna trust this guy in the chat. Open task manager and agent 32exe. It fixed lag. Try. Okay, he's gonna try it. Hopefully that's gonna fix it. Okay. Thanks, Kane, for helping out. Okay, so we're gonna go 3. Do a little bit of a countdown. 2. Oh. Okay. Wow. Hopefully they're ready. Okay. Hopefully the lag's gone too. We'll see if it got fixed. I don't even want to type. They're too busy concentrating right now. Okay, so STC now. Hopefully he's not having any more lag problems. Hopefully that fixed it. But back to the game. So Ragnarok right now is just getting into getting Burrow, getting Lings, more Banelings. Okay, that's a lot of units already out on the map right now for Ragnarok. 50 Lings, 14 Banelings. He's not making mutas yet. He has a Spire, but he has not made mutas. There we go. 6 Mutalisks in the production tab. So Mutaling Baneling has been working very good for Ragnarok. A guy that likes to go a lot of Roach drops, a lot of Mutaling Baneling. But this army of the STC, that's a lot of Marines. Not enough siege tanks, in my opinion, to be able to deal with these Banelings. So the STC really needs to make some more tanks. 2 additional tanks in the production tab. Still continuing to control the map. Spamming down another scan to go ahead and get rid of some of these creep tumors. And look at the supply. 145 to 150. This third expansion has really been paying off for the STC. But meanwhile, looks like the Vikings still alive. Just coming back in the main base. That hero Viking, man. 2 kills. Is it going to get a 3rd kill? Doesn't look like it's going to do that. So STC now going to start to siege a little bit here towards the center of the map. A little bit, kind of thinking a little bit, is it the best option to start sieging now? Or is it best to go back home? But is actually still continuing to be aggressive with these medevac drops. 2 Mutalisks are going to be able to spot it. Not really going to do anything against it, though. The STC going to kind of park it to come back another day. Mutalisks at the 3rd, though, of the STC. No turrets or anything. This expansion, very, very vulnerable right now. And they're actually just going to make their way in the main base. STC has no turrets in the main base as well. This is so bad for the STC, man. I mean, he's going to have to send some of his units back to deal with it, which is going to delay his push. And that's not a lot of mutas. That's only 8 Mutalisks. And Ragnarok is not making more mutas. Meanwhile, the natural expansion, a little bit of a medevac drop. That's going to get cleaned up by Ragnarok. STC still continuing to position towards the center of the map. But Ragnarok has so many Lings and Banelings. He is going to set up a flank and a run in with the Lings and the Banelings. STC has a lot of units, but that is just so many Banelings for Ragnarok. Going to be able to clean up these siege tanks and the Marines. 94 supply to 159. Workers lost count. 10, but 138 units lost. Ragnarok doing so much damage with the Ling Baneling composition, and this is so cool. He's not making more Mutalisks. He just opens with what, 8 to 12, then transitions into Ling Baneling. Now he's even going to go up to Hive, and this looks like it's just going to be the very same follow-up of Ultralisks. And now the STC is kind of in a position where he's now down to 54 SCVs to 86 drones. He's still basically Marine tank, which can be good against Mutalisks. But these Ultras, if he even lets it get to that stage, is going to be trouble for the STC. Now we're going to see the Mutas. We're into the natural expansion. The Marines are going to be there in time to go ahead and defend it. So the STC, definitely not out of it just yet. But the supply count, very much in the favor right now of Ragnarok. 178 to 117. 2-2 for Marines for the STC when it comes to upgrades. 2-2 for Ragnarok. So both players are even when it comes to upgrades. But the Hive is going to finish, and I want to see what the tech's going to be for Ragnarok. I'm predicting Ultralisks. Let's go ahead and see what it's going to be. It's going to take another hatchery, so it's going to be on 5 base very, very shortly. Vipers and Ultralisk Caverns. So, Ragnarok going for that composition that is so ridiculously hard for Terran players to deal with. Ling, Baneling, Ultralisk with Vipers. Ragnarok does not even care at this point in the game. He has such a good economy. 80 drones, basically 6 gases, soon to be 8 gases once he actually gets his 5th base saturated and all. But he's going for a Greater Spire too, so he's making every single tech in the Zerg book right now, and he can afford to do it. So the STC, you know, he's definitely behind in tech, but the way that STC can win this game, if he can get a lot of Marines and siege tanks and go for a timing, and you know, maybe kill a few bases of Ragnarok, if he can deny this 5th expansion, or just straight up, you know, engage the army with really good control and positioning, he can come back in the game. But the bad thing about this Marine tank army is you are committed to it. You cannot really transition out of it unless you're 100%, you know, in the lead or you're comfortable at your position. And he's not comfortable. He lost a lot of SCVs at the 3rd expansion, and he lost a lot, man. I mean, when mutas are in your main base, you don't have turrets. That's not the best position. So now he actually has a good amount of siege tanks, a good amount of Marines. If you look at the units count, 61 Marines, 8 siege tanks. Ragnarok has 39 Banelings, 4 Vipers, which are going to be great for blinding clouding these siege tanks. 8 Mutalisks, 78 Zerglings. That is a lot for Ragnarok, but we'll see how STC is going to be able to control this. He's loading up a medevac drop here towards the left side of the map. How much damage is this medevac going to be able to do? We'll have to wait and see. Is he going to spot the 5th expansion? Okay, STC. Okay, yeah, he sees this expansion, but medevac drop's going to drop right now at the 4th expansion of Ragnarok. 1 Spore is going to be there. These 2 Spines are going to be there to be able to kind of try to eliminate these Marines. At the same time, the 3rd expansion, more medevac usage being done here by the STC. Banelings are going to be able to clean it up. Of course, going to be using that Ignite Afterburners ability. Finally, that's going to get cleaned up. But now this is going to give STC a siege opportunity at the 4th expansion. Or, excuse me, the 5th expansion. Ragnarok has no drone, so it's not the biggest deal. Now we're going to see Ragnarok. Ultras are on the map. Lings and Banelings and Mutalisks. Vipers are in the back. STC kind of stuck a little bit. STC, man, really controlling this very nicely. But that blinding cloud on all the siege tanks. Siege tanks are not split. These Lings and Banelings and Ultras going to be able to run through the whole army of the STC. Look at those abducts onto these medevacs. And what a huge victory for Ragnarok. Now we're going to see the STC still continuing to send some more units. Again, once more, a great blinding cloud by Ragnarok. So the STC now going to run back home. Going to be able to take a 4th expansion. We're still seeing these medevacs being pretty annoying for Ragnarok. So STC really trying to come back in this game to force his opponent to stay on his side of the map and possibly kill, you know, a base here and there. But, I mean, Ragnarok defended very nicely, and his offense, I mean, his positioning in this game has been very impressive. STC now, his 4th is completed. We're going to see a whole bunch of SCVs and mules being dropped there. Still Marine Marauder. Now we're going to see some Marauders. Good choice from the STC to go ahead and deal with these Ultralisks. But Ragnarok's army, look at this army. That is just so much. So many Ultras. These Vipers. But STC very close to maxing out. 179 to 193. 3-3 has completed. Ragnarok has 3-3 as well on his Zerglings. Of course, he did get that bonus upgrade on the Ultralisks. Here comes the push right now for Ragnarok. Moving forward right now with the Ultralisks. Blinding Cloud on everything. STC controlling very nicely with the Marauders, but is it going to be enough? Ragnarok. Marauders are, of course, the counter to Ultralisks, but he's just going to move into the natural. These siege tanks are actually positioned very nicely, but the STC falling in supply. Ragnarok has so many Ultralisks, but these Marauders tearing through these Ultralisks, and it looks like STC, by the skin of his teeth, is he going to be able to defend this? It looks like he will. So, fantastic defense by the STC. Still has a pretty good economy, making more Marauders, making more bio and medevacs. But Ragnarok is just expanding all over the place. He's going to take this upper left position, or excuse me, the upper right position. He's going to take the bottom left position. So he's going to be on 6 bases you know, in the coming few minutes here. In fact, the hatchery just finished, so he is going to be on 6 bases. But a little bit of a medevac drop here by the STC. Going to be able to get cleaned up here by RagnaroK. Did he do any damage? Not so much. Might have killed a few drones. But the STC is coming back in this game, guys. I'm going to be 100% honest now. He might not have, you know, the right army to deal with RagnaroK's army composition of a lot of infestors now. So Infestor, Ling, Baneling, Viper, Ultra. What do you do against this? Well, the STC is going to make some Marauders, of course, great against Ultras. Siege tanks do some splash damage against the Lings and the Banelings. So this army, slowly but surely, is becoming very, very strong for the STC. He's going to pick off a hatchery. That's very, very good. So he's trying to deny mining or any additional expansions coming up in this game for RagnaroK. Once again, another drop here towards the upper right side, picking off yet another hatchery. So STC very much on top of it, coming back in this game tremendously well. Now RagnaroK is stuck on 3 base. Is it going to be the time where RagnaroK's going to tell himself, okay, you are done killing my expansions. I'm going to go for a push. Another medevac drop with a good amount of Marines and Marauders picking off a gas. Not quite going to have enough muscle to be able to just focus down that hatchery. But RagnaroK's units are in the center of the map. STC's units are sieged really, really nicely with these siege tanks spread out to be able to, you know, kind of try to dodge the blinding clouds, I guess. Another drop in the main base here of RagnaroK. 2 medevacs with Marines and Marauders going to focus down the Queen. Is he going to be able to kill this hatchery? RagnaroK will be able to react, sending a good portion of Lynx to go ahead and deal with it. So still very, very good defense. More medevac drop abusage. So this is just the multitasking of the STC to its best. These medevac drops have been getting him back in the game. Another medevac drop. So 3 medevac drops at the same time for the STC. He's even going to try to send it here towards the right expansion. He's going to try to focus on this hatchery. It's going to be enough, though. Medevac's going to die. Marauders are going to die, too. RagnaroK. Look at the money, though. 2,500 minerals. 2,500 gas. STC has a good amount of minerals and gas as well. But now we're going to see RagnaroK spot this expansion. This is definitely going to signal him. He's like, no, you're not going to expand all over the map just like I'm trying to do. I'm going to go ahead and deny this. STC on top of it will be able to send the Marines and Marauders and some siege tanks. Now, this is going to be so important for the STC. This army is very large, and it can be rather scary with the upgrades. But it's all going to come down to how he's actually going to be able to split these units. The siege tanks are going to be so important, but all these the infestors might get a little bit caught here. Not so many ultras. RagnaroK, he's going to have to split his units as well. But now look at the siege positioning here from the STC. RagnaroK's going to have to get some amazing blinding clouds to do some damage. A little bit of a medevac drop here. We're going to see the Marauder and the natural expansion as well. But this is going to be the point of engagement right now for RagnaroK and for STC. RagnaroK going to start to make his way in. STC has his siege tanks. The blinding cloud onto the siege tanks. But look at these broodlords. Now we're going to see a Viking transition. But is it going to be enough? STC is controlling this very, very nicely. Blinding cloud still continuing to be thrown on these siege tanks. But it looks like RagnaroK has so many units, denying yet another expansion from the STC. STC's all the way back to his natural expansion. Production tab for the Zerg. More Ultralisks, more Zerglings. These I mean, look at this army. Ultra, Broodlord. This is telling yourself as a Terran, how many Vikings do I make? How many Marauders do I make? You really need to be smart about splitting your resources to be able to manage both units. But it looks like STC will be able to clean up the ground. He's going to have enough Vikings to clean up these Broodlords. It looks like he is. RagnaroK's maxed out. Siege tanks are dead, though, and that's the thing about Ultras. They clean everything on the ground. And they cleaned a lot of Marauders and Marines, man. The Broodlords are dead, so STC is going to be able to eliminate the Broodlords with these Vikings. RagnaroK, surprisingly enough, now with only 153 supply. How many drones does he have? 71 drones. Lings are going to make their way here. That planetary fortress, of course, going to get repaired by the STC. So RagnaroK trying to kill that off. Not going to happen, unfortunately. More links coming in right now for RagnaroK. Going to be able to surround a lot of these bio units. STC controlling this, again, really, really smartly. Sending it back to the planetary fortress to have it help a little bit when it comes to dealing some damage. But RagnaroK still has a very intimidating army. These Ultra Vipers. And this is just such a back and forth game, man. I mean, STC has been trying to expand. RagnaroK has had expansions denied left and right. And the STC really so close to actually breaking Ragnarok. I mean, how many bases does Ragnarok have mining, really? One base? This base is basically mined out. This base is basically mined out. The STC just has to worry about taking himself another expansion. Man, I'm kind of speechless right now. STC has really been playing very, very well in this game. A lot of Vikings remaining in the air, so Ragnarok immediately going to tell himself, okay, I'm probably not going to be able to make any more Broodlords, but these Vikings are going to be able to kill a lot of these Overlords. Ultralisks and Banelings. A few Banelings finished morphing there for Ragnarok. Command Center, going to try to land. Scan going down, killing the Zergling. So Ragnarok, this is like the point of engagement here, guys. This side of the map is so important right now. 33 minutes into the game, STC wants to take a 5th expansion. Ragnarok just has to deny it. But STC has a lot of units, and we'll see what he can do with this. It's not actually quite a lot for STC. It looks like these siege tanks are going to get blown up by these Banelings. Vipers are still in the air. Is he going to be able to abduct any of these Vikings? Actually, Vikings might be able to clean up all these Vipers. Looks like the Ultralisk is going to run into the natural. STC trying to make Marines and Marauders. Ragnarok still does not have a lot of economy. This is such a low eco game for both the players right now. I mean, Ragnarok's mining. STC is almost done mining. That's a lot of SCVs at that expansion. But now I think Ragnarok can honestly just stream in Zerglings and Ultralisks and possibly just go for the win. Air dominance is definitely in the favor right now of the STC, so Broodlords are not going to be an option at all for Ragnarok. Forcing yet another lift of this command center. Ragnarok so on top of just scouting around the map. I mean, he sent his units towards the natural, but he knows he cannot have STC take this expansion. But now we're going to see the Vikings going to go ahead and land towards the 4th expansion of Ragnarok, trying to kill a few more drones. Ragnarok now actually has 66 drones compared to the 49 SCVs of the STC. Ragnarok's going to be able to spot a lot of these the Marines and the Marauders, a few medevacs as well. Actually, a few Marines and Marauders, a lot of medevacs. He's going to try to surround this. More reinforcements coming in right now for the STC. Is this going to be enough Lings? STC has 126 supply, a lot of its SCVs, but at the same time, this expansion, the Planetary Fortress is not done. Is this Ultralisk going to kill it? Oh, and it dies. GG's thrown out. What a game. Ragnarok playing so well in